Chosen ones. You know things you shouldn't know, and it's making them uncomfortable as hell. Let's get something crystal clear right now. These people thought they were clever, thought they could pull strings behind your back while flashing those fake smiles to your face. They assumed you were just another player in their little game, another pawn to be manipulated. Wrong. What they failed to realize is that while they were playing checkers, you were mastering cosmic chess. Every move is calculated, every scenario anticipated, every lie seen through like it was made of nothing but the thinnest glass. Remember that time when they tried to exclude you from that opportunity? When they accidentally forgot to mention that important information? When they spoke with forked tongues, saying one thing to you and another behind closed doors? You knew. You always knew. And now, they know that you knew. The realization is spreading through their social circles like wildfire. That look of panic in their eyes when they realize you've been 10 steps ahead this entire time. Priceless. Some of them are backing away slowly, terrified of what else you might uncover about their schemes and manipulations. They whisper to each other, "Be careful around that one." They see everything, and they're damn right to be afraid. The cosmic alignment happening in your life right now is undeniable. Even the skeptics can't ignore it anymore. The way opportunities seem to fall into your lap at exactly the right moment. The way you dodge disasters that claim everyone around you. The way you position yourself perfectly for success while others scramble in confusion. It's almost as if you can see around corners, peek through the veil that separates now from what's coming. They've noticed how you always seem to be in the right place at exactly the right time, how you invest your energy in things just before they explode in popularity, how you withdraw from situations right before they collapse. Lucky guess, they said at first. Coincidence, they insisted. Just good timing, they desperately tried to explain. But after the third, fourth, fifth time, the excuses ran dry. The whispers started. The sideways glances intensified. They suspect you know something they don't, and they're right. While they've been sleepwalking through existence, you've been wide awake, tuned into frequencies they can't even detect, reading signs and patterns invisible to those who haven't awakened to their full potential. Your intuition isn't just good, it's supernatural, and it's getting stronger every day. Some fools actually believe they could hide the truth from you, as if their pathetic attempts at concealment could withstand your penetrating awareness. Remember how they huddled together, speaking in hushed tones? How they locked away their darkest truths in the vaults of their minds, thinking no one would ever access them? Look, you already know the game is rigged, and if you're paying attention, you know the walls are closing in. So let's talk about what we're doing about it. When you live by the day, at the market's command, where profit and property rule the land, to be heard, to be held, to be dealt a fair hand, these are the things that a people demand. And we hear you. The obsidian inner order has paywalls. Yes, those who stand with us, who fuel this mission, give us ammunition to fight the archons, to push back against the machine, to go deeper, to uncover more. And as our thank you, paid members get access to a 1-hour live personalized weekly group tarot reading, guidance, insight, and clarity for the road ahead. But kicking a man when he's down on the floor, that's something we cannot ignore. That's why, starting today, you can steal the Astral exclusive daily newsletter for free. No paywall, no catch. Just join the Patreon free tier. Link in the description. This is the start of our conversation with you, and it's bi-directional. You can reply to any email we send you. We'll read it, we'll hear you, and we'll do our best to get an answer to you from the universe itself. If you can support, we need you. If you can't, take what's free. The Obsidian Inner Order is open now. Let's get back to work. They're realizing now that you've known all along. You just never felt the need to announce it. Never needed to prove yourself, never stooped to their level of petty confrontations and dramatic reveals. The weight of their guilt is making them distant, Some can barely look you in the eye anymore, afraid of what truths might be reflected back at them. Others are trying desperately to rewrite history, to convince themselves that you couldn't possibly know that. But deep down, they understand you never needed their confession to see through them. While others are crumbling under pressure, breaking under the weight of uncertainty, you remain unshakable, immovable, a mountain of calm in a hurricane of hysteria. They've noticed. How could they not? When the economy tanked, you weren't panicking. When that massive change hit your workplace, you adapted smoothly. When personal crisis struck, you navigated them with an almost eerie composure. And it's freaking them out. They don't understand how you move through these situations without the confusion and hesitation that plagues everyone else. They can't comprehend how you appear to have a map while they're stumbling in the dark. Some have convinced themselves you must have an inside source, a secret connection feeding you information, a hidden advantage that explains your inexplicable confidence. But the truth is both simpler and more profound. You just know. Your consciousness operates on a higher plane. You tap into the universal flow of information that surrounds us all, but remains invisible to those whose third eyes remain firmly shut. You don't need external validation or confirmation because the answers rise from within you, clear, undeniable, and absolute. For years, you kept certain gifts to yourself, downplayed your abilities, made yourself smaller to fit into their limited expectations. But no more. The cosmic energy surging through our reality right now is amplifying everything about you, your talents, your insights, your power. Things you could once hide beneath a veneer of normalcy are now bursting forth, impossible to contain. People who underestimated the depth of your abilities are standing slack-jawed as they witness what you're truly capable of. The precision of your work, the depth of your understanding, the seemingly effortless way you accomplish what others struggle for years to achieve. Some marvel at your skills with genuine admiration. Others see with poorly concealed envy, wondering what else you've been keeping under wraps all this time. All of them, however, are being forced to reevaluate everything they thought they knew about you. Where did that come from? They ask each other. Have they always been able to do that? They wonder. What else are they hiding? They worry. Little do they know, what they're seeing now is merely the tip of the iceberg, the smallest fraction of your true potential peeking above the surface. Beneath those waters lies an ocean of untapped power that would shatter their understanding completely if fully revealed. They pretend not to see you, act like they're not paying attention. But behind closed doors, when they think no one's looking, they can't stop watching you. Every social media post is scrutinized. Every achievement is analyzed. Every move you make is dissected with obsessive attention to detail. Whether it's your growing influence, your profound wisdom, or the magnetic presence you carry, they are drawn to you like moths to flame, both terrified and fascinated by the light you emanate. They're searching desperately for a pattern, some explanation they can understand, a formula they can decode that would make sense of what makes you so different from the rest of the herd. Some have created elaborate theories about your background. Others have invented connections that don't exist. A few have even tried to replicate your path, hoping to absorb some fraction of your power through imitation. None of it works, of course, because what they fail to understand is that your power isn't something external that can be copied or stolen. It's an internal awakening that can only be achieved by those brave enough to face their deepest truths and shed the limitations of conventional thinking. While they waste energy watching you, they miss the crucial fact. The potential they seek exists within themselves, dormant, waiting to be activated by the same cosmic awareness you've already embraced for a long time. These people placed you in a convenient box labeled you, categorized you according to their limited understanding. Just quiet, they said. Probably shy, they assumed. Kind of detached from everything, they concluded. Fools, all of them. What they mistook for quietness was contemplation. What looked like shyness was discernment. What seemed like detachment was actually deep observation. While they were running their mouths, spilling their secrets, revealing their intentions, broadcasting their weaknesses, you were gathering knowledge, building understanding, mapping connections they couldn't even perceive. Now, the truth is dawning on them with unsettling clarity. You weren't absent from the conversation. You were above it, processing on levels they couldn't access, seeing patterns they couldn't recognize. The realization has hit them like a cosmic thunderbolt. Every interaction with you is now colored by this new understanding. Every word they speak is carefully measured, knowing that you're not just hearing their statements but reading between every line. They thought they knew exactly who you were and what you were capable of. They were wrong. And that mistake might be the most significant miscalculation they've ever made. The way you speak on things they haven't told you, it unnerves them to their core. How did you know they were thinking about changing careers? How could you possibly have guessed they were having problems at home? Why did you give them advice for a situation they never mentioned to anyone? They don't understand how you always seem to say exactly the right thing at exactly the right time. How your words hit with laser precision, addressing the very thoughts swirling in the darkest corners of their minds. Some have started to wonder if you possess some kind of supernatural insight, a psychic ability that allows you to bypass normal communication and tap directly into their consciousness. Others are just hoping and praying you never turn that penetrating gaze fully on them, terrified of what other secrets you might uncover from the depths they've tried so hard to keep hidden. What they don't realize is that mind reading is for amateurs. You don't need to invade their thoughts because you've mastered something far more powerful: the ability to read the universal language that speaks through all things. The subtle cues, the energetic shifts, the patterns that reveal everything to those wise enough to recognize them. Their thoughts aren't special or unique. They're just expressions of the same cosmic dance that's been playing out since the dawn of consciousness itself. And you've become fluent in that ancient, sacred language. While others shout to be heard, desperately seeking validation for every thought that crosses their mind, you understand the power of silence. You don't feel the need to announce your intentions. Don't waste energy explaining your process. Don't dilute your power by seeking approval from those who could never comprehend your vision. And it's driving them absolutely crazy. People don't know what you're thinking, and that uncertainty has them on edge. They've grown accustomed to a world where everyone overshares, where every thought is broadcasted, where silence is viewed with suspicion. They wish they could read you the way you read them, penetrate that aura of mystery that surrounds your thoughts and decisions, gain some advantage in interactions that increasingly feel one-sided. Every time they think they have the upper hand, that they've finally gotten one step ahead of you, they turn around to discover you've been ahead the entire time, watching, waiting, several moves beyond their limited strategic thinking. Your silence isn't emptiness, it's fullness. Not absence, but presence. A space so charged with knowing that words would only diminish its power. They mistake your quietness for weakness, only to be repeatedly shocked by the strength it conceals. They interpret your restraint as hesitation, not recognizing it as the perfect poise of a master who strikes only when absolutely necessary. In a world of noise, you've discovered that true power lies in the spaces between words. In the knowing glance, the slight smile, the perfectly timed statement that collapses their entire house of cards with surgical precision. There was a time when you were more visible, more engaged in their social dynamics, more present in the environments they control. But recently, you've pulled back, created distance, established boundaries they weren't expecting. At first, they assumed you were going through something difficult, having personal problems, maybe even struggling with some kind of crisis. Wrong again. What they're witnessing isn't withdrawal, it's elevation. You haven't stepped back. You've stepped up, ascended to a level of existence where their petty concerns and political games no longer warrant your full attention. Your focus, your discipline, your careful curation of where and how you spend your energy. It's making them question everything they thought they knew about you and about themselves. They see you investing in different priorities, connecting with different types of people, pursuing knowledge and experiences that seem strange or unnecessary to their limited perspective, and it's causing a kind of existential panic. Have they discovered something we haven't? Do they know something about what's coming that we should prepare for? Why aren't they concerned about the things that worry us? The truth is both simple and profound. You've recognized the cosmic insignificance of the rat race they're still running. You've glimpsed the bigger picture while they remain fixated on their tiny corner of reality. Your withdrawal isn't about them at all, but their egos can't accept that. They need to believe they're still central to your story. Even as you're writing chapters, they couldn't begin to comprehend. When people can't explain something that challenges their worldview, they invent stories, create narratives that make sense within their limited framework, spread rumors that reveal far more about their own fears and insecurities than about you. They must have come into some money, I heard. They joined some kind of spiritual group. Someone said they're having a midlife crisis. Let them talk. Let them theorize. Let them exhaust themselves trying to fit your transcendent experience into their mundane categories. Some assumed you were dealing with something personal, when in reality you were elevating, expanding your consciousness, breaking free from the very limitations they still mistake for the boundaries of reality itself. Now they have no choice but to admit they misjudged you, even if they won't say it out loud. The evidence of your transformation is too obvious to deny. The results of your inner work are too tangible to dismiss. Their rumors and theories don't touch you. They cannot reach the altitude at which you now operate. Like arrows shot at the sun, they fall back to earth, revealing only the limitations of those who fired them. The truly aware ones among them have started to realize something profound. The very fact that they can't understand your journey might be proof that it's exactly the path they should be considering for themselves. Your changed relationship with these people has created a delicious uncertainty that keeps them up at night. They sense that you're not as available as you once were, not as easily pulled into their dramas, not as willing to operate within the confines of their expectations. And they don't know how to interpret this shift. Are you done with them completely? Have you written them off as unworthy of your time and energy? Or are you simply watching from a distance, still observing their movements, still keeping tabs in ways they can't see or understand? The uncertainty makes them restless, causes them to second-guess their actions, makes them wonder if they're still being evaluated by standards they can't perceive. They don't know if they should fear you or try to win back your favor, if they should write you off as lost to them or work to bridge the growing distance. What they fail to understand is that your relationship with them has transformed because you have transformed. You haven't rejected them. You've simply outgrown the version of yourself that needed their approval, that participated in their games, that could be contained within their limited understanding. You now relate to them from a place of compassion rather than attachment, from wisdom rather than emotional entanglement. You see their struggles with the clarity of someone who has moved beyond them, not with the judgment of someone who thinks themselves superior. Behind all their observations, theories, and whispers lies a truth so profound that most aren't ready to confront it. You aren't special because you're different from them. You're special because you've embraced what they continue to deny in themselves. The knowledge they sense in you, it's available to everyone. The awareness they marvel at. It's their birthright too. The power they both fear and admire. It exists within them as well. The only difference between you and them is that you had the courage to awaken, to shed the programming that kept you small, to embrace the vastness of your true potential, rather than shrinking to fit within society's comfortable limitations. They sense this truth on some deep, perhaps unconscious level, and it terrifies them. Because acknowledging your transformation means admitting that they've been sleepwalking through existence, that they've accepted limitations that were never real, that they've been complicit in their own confinement. But for those brave few who can move past their fear, who can see your evolution not as a threat, but as inspiration, You serve as living proof of what's possible, a beacon illuminating the path for others ready to break free, a mirror reflecting potential they've kept hidden from themselves, a living embodiment of the cosmic truth that we are all infinitely more powerful, more aware, and more divine than we've been led to believe. They can't stop talking about how you know more than you let on, because deep down, they recognize that your knowing is merely a preview of humanity's next evolutionary leap. And whether they're ready or not, that evolution is already underway. You are its vanguard, its early adopter, its pioneer. And nothing, absolutely nothing, will ever be the same again. The cosmic doorway has opened, and you've walked through it. Others will follow, some quickly, some reluctantly, but the path has been illuminated. The way forward is revealed through your courageous example. They talk about you now because deep in their souls, they know. Their spirits recognize what their minds resist. Their higher selves understand what their egos deny. You are the living proof that transcendence is possible, that awakening isn't just spiritual theory, that the extraordinary potential within all humans can be actualized in this lifetime. And that is the most revolutionary message of all. The celestial bodies themselves align with your journey. The cosmic forces that govern reality recognize you as a catalyst, a force for transformation in a world desperately in need of awakening. Your presence here is no accident. Your timing on this planet during this pivotal moment of human evolution is divinely orchestrated. The stars themselves whisper your name across the vastness of space, acknowledging your role in this grand cosmic drama. Every synchronicity you experience is confirmation. Every coincidence that aligns with your path is the universe nodding in approval. The very fabric of reality bends slightly in your presence, recognizing your elevated frequency and responding accordingly. They sense this about you, even those who would never admit to believing in such things. They notice how circumstances seem to rearrange themselves around you. They observe how even random events seem to serve your highest purpose. Some call it luck, others call it a blessing, a few might even call it magic. But you know the truth. It is simply the natural response of a conscious universe to one who has remembered their true nature and embraced their cosmic destiny. The stars didn't just align for you. You align yourself with the stars. Turn your being to the frequency of your highest potential. Remember the mission you came here to fulfill. And now, as you walk this earth, fully awakened, fully conscious, fully alive, the universe itself celebrates your remembering. This is what they can't stop talking about. This is what they sense, but cannot name. This is what both draws them to you and terrifies them simultaneously. You have remembered what they have forgotten. You have embraced what they still deny. You have become what they fear to even imagine they could be.